This has been a common response to the last post I did because white folks can't help but be obnoxious and make everything about themselves. Historically, about 2/3 of sharecroppers were white and about a third were black. But here's the thing, and I'm going to say this real slow. White folks have never been too poor or too traumatized to enthusiastically uphold white supremacy. See, while poor white people and poor black people may have worked shoulder to shoulder on fields that they did not own in similar types of poverty, the black codes only applied to one of them. There weren't enough rich white people around to make sure that those codes were enforced on the legions of black people that were in the South during slavery and during the antebellum period through the sharecropping period. So guess who did the enforcing? Your white ancestors may have been too poor to ever afford slaves, but they weren't too poor to sign up for slave patrols. They weren't too poor to report runaways. They weren't too poor to burn down Black Wall Street. They weren't too poor to tell Martin Luther King, oh, now just really isn't the time for integration. They weren't too poor to string up black men for getting fresh with white women. Kind of like what I'm doing now. Y'all used to kill niggas for saying stuff like I'm saying right now. And it wasn't rich people that did the killing. You know, people on the left with watermelons and Palestine flags and hammers and sickles in their profiles or whatever, they want to use class and poverty as this cudgel to expunge the record of racism from poor white people. We're supposed to believe you when you say class war is the only war that matters. And once we've gotten rid of all the oligarchs, then you're going to make everything all right. And we should just trust you that you're not going to put yourselves first and just leave us off to the side. The problem is that y'all have done nothing to demonstrate that you're trustworthy. And this response here is Exhibit A as to why. A random white woman used images of black people and the mention of slavery and sharecropping all together and compared them to millionaire farmers. And when I had something to say about it, you had to bring up white people's pain. I guess just expecting me to forget that it was poor white people who have always been the foot soldiers of white supremacy and still are.